Touch him again and you'll regret it. The voice was small, too small to matter in an underground parking garage where 5 grown men were beating a man to death, but the voice didn't shake. Marcus Webb was on his knees, blood dripping from his nose, unable to hear the fists coming because Marcus Webb was deaf. Had been for 3 years. Ever since the factory explosion that stole his hearing and nearly took his life. He couldn't hear the men laughing as they kicked him. Couldn't hear them calling him names. Couldn't hear the sound of his ribs cracking. But he could feel it. Every blow, every moment of his $40 million empire meaning absolutely nothing in this cold concrete hell. Then something hit the biggest attacker square in the temple. Clink. A coin. A quarter. The man stumbled, confused. What the? Clink, clink, clink. 3 more coins flew through the air like bullets, each one hitting a different attacker with surgical precision. I said, the small voice came again, echoing off the concrete walls, touch him again and you'll regret it. The men turned. 30 feet away, standing on the stairwell landing, was a little black girl, maybe 8 years old, wearing clothes 2 sizes too big, holding a glass jar full of coins. Her braids were messy. Her shoes had holes, but her eyes were absolutely fearless. The tallest man laughed. You gotta be kidding me, whose kid is this? Go home, little girl, another sneered, before you get hurt. Sky, because that's what her name was, didn't move. She just reached into her jar, pulled out another coin and threw, clink, direct hit. Right between the laughing man's eyes, he dropped like a stone. The other 4 stopped laughing. How did she? Clink, 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 clink. 4 more throws. 4 more perfect hits. 4 grown men stumbling backward, hands over their bleeding faces, completely shocked that a child half their size was taking them down with pocket change. Run, one of them shouted, and they did, all 5 of them scrambling toward their van, engines roaring, tires squealing as they disappeared into the night. Silence fell over the parking garage. Marcus Webb looked up, vision blurry, and saw the little girl walking toward him. She was calm, like she did this every day. She knelt beside him, her small hand touching his shoulder gently. Her lips moved. Marcus couldn't hear the words, but he read them perfectly. Are you okay, mister? Marcus stared at this child who just saved his life with spare change and courage. And for the first time in 3 years of silence, Marcus Webb smiled. Before we dive deeper, tell us where in the world you're watching from and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel. Now, let me pray over you real quick before we continue. God, I'm asking you right now to bless every single person watching this. Cover them with your protection. Bless their family, their health, their finances. Give them peace in the storm and strength when they feel weak. Let miracles happen in their life today. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now let's get into it, because what you're about to hear isn't just a story about a rescue. It's a story about what happens when a deaf billionaire meets a foster child with perfect aim and a heart bigger than the city itself. 3 years ago, Marcus Webb could hear everything. The roar of machinery in his manufacturing plants, the applause when he closed billion-dollar deals, the voice of his fiancée saying, I love you before bed. Then came the explosion, a gas leak in his Seattle factory. Marcus was doing a safety inspection when the entire east wing went up in flames. The blast threw him 30 feet, shattered his eardrums. Killed 2 of his employees. When Marcus woke up in the hospital, the world was silent. Mr. Webb, the doctor's lips moved. I'm sorry, the damage is permanent, you'll never hear again. Marcus tried to speak. His voice came out wrong, too loud, too soft, he couldn't tell. He stopped trying. His fiancée, Victoria, visited once. She looked at him with pity and disgust mixed together. I can't do this, Marcus, she said, even though he had to read her lips. I need someone whole. She left the ring on his hospital table and walked out. His business partners weren't much better. They questioned his ability to lead. How could a CEO who couldn't hear run board meetings? How could he negotiate when he couldn't participate in phone calls? Marcus proved them wrong. He learned to read lips. He hired interpreters. He made his company more successful than ever. But success didn't fill the silence. So every Thursday at 6 p.m., Marcus Webb would drive to the parking garage beneath his building, sit in his car, and just exist. No meetings, no interpreters, no one pretending they didn't pity him. Just silence. Until tonight, when 5 men decided he was an easy target, until a little girl with a jar of coins decided otherwise. Marcus sat in his car, windows down, watching the little girl count her coins on the garage floor. She'd saved his life, and now she was reorganizing her money. He got out slowly, body aching from the beating. She looked up, smiled. Her lips moved again. "You're hurt. Should I call someone?" Marcus pulled out his phone, opened his notes app, and typed, "I can't hear you." "I'm deaf, but I can read your lips." Sky's eyes went wide, then she started signing. "Can you understand this?" Marcus's breath caught. This child knew ASL. He signed back, "Yes." "How do you know sign language?" Sky's face lit up. "My first foster mom was deaf. She taught me before she died." Foster child. That explained the 2 big clothes, the worn shoes. The jar of coins like it was treasure. Marcus signed, "You saved my life. Thank you." "You're welcome. Are you rich?" The question was so direct, so innocent that Marcus almost laughed. He signed, "Yes." "Then why were you alone? Rich people usually have bodyguards." Marcus didn't have an answer for that. A voice echoed across the parking garage. "Sky, where are you?" A woman appeared from the stairwell. Mid-30s, black, wearing a janitorial uniform with Deanna stitched on the pocket. Her hair was tied back, face exhausted. She saw Sky with Marcus, and her expression shifted instantly to fear. "Get away from my daughter." She rushed forward, putting herself between them. Marcus held up his hands, typing quickly, "I'm not a threat." "Your daughter just saved me from being killed." Deanna read the screen, looked at Sky, then at Marcus's bloody face. "Sky, what happened?" "Bad men were hurting him, Mama Deanna, so I stopped them." "How?" Sky held up her coin jar. "Same way I always practice, from 30 feet. Deanna's fear turned to something else, pride mixed with terror. "Baby, you can't just throw coins at people." "But they were hurting him," Sky protested, "and nobody else was helping." Marcus typed, "She has perfect aim. I've never seen anything like it." Deanna looked at him properly for the first time. Recognition flickered in her eyes. "Wait, you're Marcus Webb, the Marcus Webb?" Marcus nodded. "My boss's boss's boss," Deanna whispered. Then louder, "Sir, I'm so sorry if Sky bothered you." "We'll leave right now." "She didn't bother me. She saved me." "We don't want any trouble." "I want to thank her properly." "Please." Deanna hesitated, years of being invisible to rich people making her cautious. But Sky was already signing to Marcus. "Do you always get beat up on Thursdays?" Marcus couldn't help it. He laughed. Actually laughed. The sound was rusty, awkward, but real. He signed back, "No, usually I just sit alone." "That sounds sad." "It is. You shouldn't be alone. Nobody should." Deanna watched this exchange, her daughter and a billionaire having a conversation she could barely follow. "What's he saying?" she asked. "He's lonely, Mama Deanna. Can we be his friend?" Marcus typed, "I'd like that very much." If you're feeling this already, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Because what happens next between Marcus, Sky, and Deanna will either break you or heal you. And trust me, you don't want to miss a single moment. Drop a comment telling me, have you ever been saved by someone you didn't expect? Let's talk about it. Deanna insisted on taking Marcus to the emergency room. He tried to refuse, but Sky looked at him with those determined eyes and signed, "You're bleeding. That's not safe." So Marcus found himself in the ER, getting stitches, while a foster child and a janitor waited in plastic chairs because they refused to leave until they knew he was okay. "He'll be fine," the doctor told Deanna. "Minor concussion, bruised ribs. He's lucky your daughter was there." When Marcus came out, Sky was asleep against Deanna's shoulder. The coin jar sat in her lap like a security blanket. Marcus typed, "How does she throw like that?" Deanna smiled sadly. "Practice. Every day after school, she goes to the empty lot behind our building and throws at targets she sets up. Cans, bottles, whatever she finds, says it helps her think. She's incredible." "She's all I have," Deanna said quietly. "I'm her 4th foster mother in 3 years. The system keeps moving her around, but I won't let them take her. Even if I'm barely scraping by, even if my apartment is tiny, even if I work 3 jobs." Her voice broke. Marcus saw the exhaustion, the love, the desperation to protect this child. He typed, "You're a good mother." "I try," Deanna whispered, "but trying doesn't always pay the bills." An idea formed in Marcus's mind. Crazy, impulsive, but also, right, he typed, "Can I see you both again? Same place next Thursday?" Deanna frowned. "Why?" "Because Sky asked me a question nobody else has dared to ask in 3 years." "What question?" "Why I'm always alone, and I don't have a good answer. Maybe she can help me find one." Deanna stared at the screen, then at her sleeping daughter, then back at Marcus. "One meeting," she said finally. "If Sky wants to." Sky stirred, opened her eyes, saw Marcus. She signed sleepily, "Are you okay, Mr. Marcus?" He signed back, "Because of you, yes." "Good, can we be friends?" "I'd love that." Sky smiled, closed her eyes again, and whispered to Deanna, "He's nice, Mama. We should keep him." Deanna laughed despite herself. "Baby, you can't just keep billionaires." "Why not?" Marcus typed, "Actually, I'd very much like to be kept." And just like that, in an ER waiting room at midnight, 3 broken people decided to try something new: friendship. Real, honest, unexpected friendship. Thursday couldn't come fast enough. Marcus arrived at the parking garage at 5:45 p.m., 15 minutes early. He told himself it was just to ensure safety, to make sure no more attackers showed up. But really, he was excited. Actually excited about seeing people, about not being alone. At exactly 600 p.m., Deanna and Sky appeared from the stairwell. Sky was carrying her coin jar and something else, a small paper bag. She ran up to Marcus, grinning. "I brought you something." She pulled out a muffin, slightly squashed, wrapped in a napkin. "I made it myself." "Well, Mama Deanna helped, but I did most of it." Marcus took the muffin like it was made of gold. When was the last time someone had baked something for him? He signed, "Thank you. This is the best gift I've gotten in years." "Really? But you're rich. Don't people give you stuff all the time?" "They give me things they think I want. You gave me something you made. That's different." Sky beamed. Deanna approached more cautiously. "Mr. Webb," Marcus typed, "please, call me Marcus." "Marcus," she corrected. "Sky's been talking about you all week. I hope this isn't an inconvenience." "This is the best part of my week." "Really?" He showed her what he'd typed earlier. "For 3 years, I've been invisible. People look through me, or they pity me, or they see dollar signs. Sky sees me, just me." Deanna's expression softened. She has a gift for that, seeing people as they really are. Sky was already setting up targets, empty soda cans balanced on parking barriers. "Want to see my new trick?" she signed to Marcus. He nodded eagerly. She pulled out a penny, showed it to him, then turned around, backwards. She threw the penny over her shoulder without looking. Clink, perfect hit. Center can. Marcus's jaw dropped. Deanna laughed. "She's been practicing that all week to show you." Sky ran back, bouncing. "Did you like it?" Marcus signed. "That was impossible. How did you do that?" "I just know where things are, like I can feel them in my head." Deanna explained. "The doctors think it's spatial awareness, like a gift. She can calculate distance, trajectory, wind, speed, all in her head without thinking about it." Marcus stared at this 8-year-old who could do things trained athletes couldn't. He typed, "Has anyone ever trained her?" Professionally, Deanna's face fell. "We can't afford that. Foster care doesn't exactly come with athletic scholarships." "What if I could help?" "No," Deanna's voice was firm. "We don't take charity." "It's not charity, it's investment in an incredible talent." "Mr. Webb, Marcus, we appreciate it, but..." Sky tugged on Diana's sleeve. "Mama Deanna, I want to learn, please." "Baby, not for me. For you, if I get really good, maybe I can compete. Maybe I can win money. Maybe you wouldn't have to work so hard." Deanna's eyes filled with tears. This child, barely 8, already trying to save her. Marcus typed, "I have connections. Coaches who work with Olympic athletes. They owe me favors. All I ask is that you let Sky reach her potential." Deanna looked between Marcus and Sky, pride warring with desperation. "Why are you doing this?" she asked quietly. Marcus typed slowly, "Because 3 years ago I lost everything that mattered. My hearing, my fiancé, my sense of purpose. I've been existing, not living. Then Sky asked me why I'm alone, and I realized I don't have to be. Maybe helping her is how I start living again." Deanna wiped her eyes. One condition. Anything? You don't do this alone, you show up. You be part of her life. Not just her coach, her friend, because if you're going to give her hope, you better be ready to stick around when things get hard. Marcus met her eyes. I promise. Does that mean yes? Sky signed excitedly. That means yes. Sky threw her arms around Marcus's waist, hugging him tight. He froze for a moment, then gently hugged her back. It was the first hug he'd had in 3 years, and he realized Deanna was right. This wasn't about charity, this was about family, the kind you choose. Over the next 6 weeks, Thursdays became sacred. Marcus would arrive at 5:45 p.m. Sky and Deanna would show up at 600 p.m., and for 2 hours, the parking garage transformed from cold concrete into something magical. Week 1, Marcus brought a professional pitching coach. Sky threw coins at moving targets. The coach's jaw dropped. Mr. Webb, she's extraordinary. Week 2, Sky taught Marcus more ASL. They'd sit on the garage floor, practicing signs, laughing when Marcus messed up. No, that sign means banana, not tomorrow, Sky would correct, giggling. Week 3, Deanna brought homemade dinner. They ate together on the hood of Marcus's car. Deanna told stories about Sky's previous foster homes, the good ones and the bad ones. Marcus listened, really listened, reading her lips with complete focus. Week 4, Marcus brought gifts, not expensive, a new notebook for Sky's target calculations, a warm jacket because hers had holes. Deanna protested, but Sky signed, Mama Deanna, friends give gifts, that's what friends do. Week 5, Sky asked Marcus about his accident. He told her everything. The explosion, the silence, the loneliness. She listened, then signed, being deaf doesn't make you broken. It makes you different. Different is good. Week 6, Marcus hired a private investigator to look into Deanna's situation, not to invade privacy, to help. He discovered she was working 3 jobs, janitor, waitress, overnight grocery stocker, to afford her tiny apartment. She was $3,000 behind on rent, 1 month from eviction. That's when Marcus made a decision that would change everything. Deanna, I need to talk to you, Marcus typed on Thursday evening. They sat in his car while Sky practiced with her new coach outside. Deanna looked nervous. Is something wrong? Is Sky? Sky is perfect. This is about you. Me, I know about the rent. The eviction notice. The 3 jobs. Deanna's face went pale. How did you? I wanted to help, so I looked into your situation. I'm sorry if that feels invasive. Mr. Webb, Marcus. Marcus, she said firmly, if you're about to offer me money, the answer is no. What if I offer you a job instead? Deanna blinked. What kind of job? I need a personal assistant. Someone who understands ASL, someone I can trust, someone who sees me as human, not just a paycheck. He typed more. Salary would be $85,000 per year, plus benefits. Health insurance for you and Sky, housing assistance. Deanna stared at the screen. $85,000, that's more than I make in 3 jobs combined. That's the point. Why would you do this? Because you've given me something I can't buy, hope, friendship. A reason to stop hiding in parking garages. Deanna's hands trembled. Marcus, I can't just, you can, you should. Sky deserves stability, you deserve rest. And I need someone who'll call me on my bull when I'm being difficult. Deanna laughed despite her tears. You think I can do that? I know you can. You've been doing it for 6 weeks. Deanna looked out at Sky, who was hitting targets with coins like it was the easiest thing in the world. If I say yes, Deanna said quietly, this doesn't change us, right? We're still friends, not just employee and boss. Always friends first. Deanna took a shaky breath. Then, yes, God help me, yes. Marcus smiled, genuinely smiled. Thank you. No, Deanna said. Thank you for seeing us, for not treating Sky like a charity case, for just being kind. They shook hands, a new beginning, but what neither of them noticed was the figure watching from the garage entrance, someone with a camera, someone who'd been following Marcus for weeks, someone who was about to make their happiness very, very complicated. The article hit on Monday morning. Deaf billionaire's inappropriate relationship with foster child and mother. Marcus stared at his computer screen, blood running cold. The photos were damning. him hugging Sky in the parking garage, Deanna sitting close to him in his car, Sky throwing coins while Marcus watched with obvious affection. The article twisted everything. Sources close to Marcus Webb report concerning behavior. The billionaire has been secretly meeting with a foster child and her mother in underground parking garages for weeks. Observers question the nature of these meetings and whether Child Protective Services should be involved. Marcus's phone exploded with calls, his board, his lawyers, his PR team, but the only call he answered was Deanna's. Her voice was shaking. "Marcus, CPS just showed up at my apartment. They're asking questions about you, about whether Sky is safe. They're talking about removing her." Marcus's world tilted. "I'm coming, don't let them take her. They have a court order. They're taking her to emergency foster care until they investigate. Marcus, I'm losing her. After everything, I'm losing her." Marcus typed with shaking hands, "I'll fix this. I promise. I'll fix this," but he had no idea how. The emergency hearing was set for Wednesday. Marcus hired the best family attorney in Seattle, paid a retainer that could have bought a house, but money couldn't fix the photos, couldn't change the way it looked. "Mr. Webb," his attorney said grimly, "these optics are terrible. A deaf billionaire secretly meeting a foster child, giving expensive gifts. CPS sees predator behavior." "I was helping her. Training her talent. I believe you, but the court needs proof, and all we have are parking garage meetings and suspicious-looking photos." Deanna was a mess. Sky had been placed with an emergency foster family across town. Deanna wasn't allowed contact until the investigation cleared. "They took her," Deanna sobbed in Marcus's office. "They took my baby because I let you get too close." Marcus felt like he'd been punched. "This is my fault. I should have been more careful." "No," Deanna said, wiping her eyes. "This is someone's fault, someone who wants to hurt you." She was right. Marcus's investigator found the source within 24 hours. The photos came from a private detective hired by Victoria, his ex-fiancée. "She's trying to destroy you," the investigator explained. "After you became more successful without her, she couldn't handle it." This was revenge. Marcus's hands clenched into fists. "Find me everything on her, every dirty secret, every lie." "Already done," the investigator said, sliding a folder across the desk. "She's been embezzling from her company for 2 years. I have proof." Marcus stared at the evidence. He could destroy Victoria, end her career, send her to prison, but that wouldn't get Sky back. Wednesday morning, the courtroom was packed. CPS presented their case. The photos, the secret meetings, Marcus's wealth creating an inappropriate power dynamic. "Your Honor," the CPS attorney said, "while Mr. Webb may have good intentions, the situation raises serious concerns. A vulnerable child, isolated meetings, expensive gifts." Marcus's attorney stood. "Objection. My client was providing mentorship and athletic training." "In a parking garage." The CPS attorney shot back. "Why not a proper facility?" "Because that's where we met." Marcus wanted to scream, "because that's where everything began." But he couldn't speak, not in court, not in a way that would make them understand. Deanna testified, tears streaming. "Marcus isn't a predator. He's the kindest man I've ever met. He saw my daughter's talent and wanted to help. That's all." "Mrs. Deanna," the CPS attorney said gently, "you're a single mother working 3 jobs. Mr. Webb offered you employment, housing, money. Don't you think he was buying access to Sky?" "No, he was helping us." "Or," the attorney continued, "he was grooming a vulnerable child." Deanna broke down completely. That's when the courtroom doors opened. Sky walked in. She wasn't supposed to be there. The emergency foster family must have broken protocol. But there she was, 8 years old, wearing her 2 big clothes, carrying her coin jar. She walked straight to the judge's bench. "Excuse me," she said clearly. "Can I talk?" The judge looked startled. "Young lady, this isn't..." "Please," Sky said. "Everyone's talking about me. I should get to talk too." The CPS attorney looked furious, but the judge softened. "All right," she said. "What would you like to say?" Sky turned to face the courtroom. "Mr. Marcus didn't hurt me," she said clearly. "He saved me." The courtroom went dead silent. Sky continued, her small voice carrying weight beyond her years. "Before Mr. Marcus, I was invisible," she said. "I'm a foster kid. People look through me, or they feel sorry for me, or they pretend I'm not there." She looked at Marcus. But he saw me, really saw me, not as someone to fix or feel bad for. He saw my talent, my brain, my worth. The judge leaned forward. Sky, did Mr. Webb ever touch you inappropriately? No, he hugs me, but good hugs, safe hugs. Like a dad would. Did he ever ask you to keep secrets from your foster mother? No, Mama Deanna was always there. We always did everything together. The CPS attorney stood. Sky, did Mr. Webb give you expensive gifts? He gave me a jacket because mine had holes, Sky said simply, and a notebook because I like to write. That's not expensive, that's kind. Did he give your mother money? He gave her a job because she works so hard and nobody sees it. He sees it. Sky's eyes filled with tears. Mr. Marcus is deaf. People treated him like he was broken, just like people treat me like I'm broken because I'm a foster kid. But we're not broken, we're just different, and we found each other, and that's not wrong, that's beautiful. Several people in the courtroom were crying now. Your Honor, Sky said, her voice stronger, if you take me away from Mama Deanna and Mr. Marcus, you're punishing me for being loved, and that's not fair. She reached into her coin jar and pulled out a single quarter. See this? This is the coin that saved Mr. Marcus's life. I carry it everywhere because it reminds me that small things can change everything. I'm small, but I can still change things, and Mr. Marcus believed that when nobody else did. She placed the coin on the judge's bench. Please don't punish him for caring about me. Then Sky walked back to the gallery and sat down, trembling. The judge was quiet for a long moment. I'll take a 30-minute recess, she said. We'll reconvene shortly. The judge returned with a decision. After reviewing the evidence and hearing Sky's testimony, she began, I find no evidence of inappropriate behavior. The meetings, while unconventional, were consensual and supervised. Mr. Webb's gifts were appropriate and aimed at helping a child in need. Marcus's chest loosened. However, the judge continued, I am troubled by the source of these allegations. She looked directly at someone in the back row. Miss Victoria Chen, please stand. Marcus turned. Victoria was there, face pale. Miss Chen, the judge said coldly, you hired a private investigator to surveil Mr. Webb. You manufactured a scandal using out-of-context photos. You filed a false CPS report. Do you deny this? Victoria's lawyer stood. Your Honor, your client committed fraud, the judge interrupted, and wasted this court's time and resources to pursue a personal vendetta. I'm referring this matter to the district attorney's office for potential criminal charges. Victoria's face went white. The judge turned to Marcus. Mr. Webb, I apologize for what you and your family have endured. Sky will be returned to Deanna's care immediately. This case is dismissed. The courtroom erupted in applause. Deanna sobbed with relief. Sky ran to her, and they held each other like they'd been separated for years instead of days. Marcus stood, watching them, feeling something he hadn't felt in 3 years, hope. But as Victoria was escorted out by court security, she looked back at Marcus with pure hatred. This isn't over, she mouthed. Marcus didn't care, he had his family back. That evening, Marcus did something he'd never done before. He called a press conference. His PR team was horrified. Sir, you don't have to do this. The court vindicated you. I need to. Cameras flashed as Marcus stepped to the podium. Deanna and Sky stood beside him, both looking nervous. Marcus didn't speak. Instead, he signed, and beside him, a professional interpreter translated. My name is Marcus Webb, he began. 3 years ago, I lost my hearing in an accident. I thought I'd lost everything. He paused, looking at Sky. Then I met a little girl in a parking garage. She saved my life with a jar of coins and perfect aim. But more than that, she saved me from loneliness. The interpreter's voice remained steady, but Marcus's hands trembled with emotion. People ask why I was meeting a child in secret. The answer is simple, it wasn't secret. We met in the place where our friendship began. We met where I felt safe enough to stop hiding. He looked at Deanna. Deanna is not my employee, she's my friend, my family. She took a chance on a broken man and showed him that deafness doesn't mean defective. Marcus's signing became more animated. Sky is not a charity case, she's the most talented athlete I've ever met. She has a gift that could take her to the Olympics, and I'm honored to help her get there." Reporters shouted questions. Marcus ignored them, focused on his message. "To everyone who twisted our story into something ugly, shame on you. You looked at love and saw scandal. You looked at kindness and saw predation. You looked at family and saw threat." He took a breath. "I'm a billionaire. I can buy anything. But Diana and Sky gave me something money can't purchase: belonging, purpose, love." Marcus pulled out a small velvet box. Diana's eyes went wide. He signed directly to her, the interpreter translating, "Diana, will you marry me? Will you and Sky let me be part of your family? Forever." The courtroom recording had been released. Everyone knew the story now. This wasn't scandalous, this was beautiful. Diana covered her mouth, tears streaming. Sky signed excitedly, "Say yes, Mama Diana, say yes." Diana nodded, unable to speak. Marcus slid the ring on her finger, and the press conference dissolved into chaos. The good kind. Cameras flashed. Reporters applauded. And somewhere in Seattle, Victoria Chen watched it all on TV, realizing she'd lost everything while trying to destroy a man who'd moved on. But revenge doesn't die easily. 2 weeks later, Sky was training at a professional facility Marcus had rented. Diana was at work. Marcus was in a meeting across town. Victoria showed up. "Hello, Sky," she said sweetly. "Remember me? I'm a friend of Mr. Marcus." Sky frowned. "Mr. Marcus doesn't have mean friends. You're the lady from court." "Smart girl." Victoria's smile turned cold. "Want to know why I really hate Marcus? He could have saved my brother. The factory explosion that made him deaf. My brother died in that fire, and Marcus lived. That's not fair." Sky stepped back. "That's not his fault." "Isn't it? He owned the factory. He cut safety costs. He killed my brother and walked away a victim." Sky shook her head. "You're lying." "Am I?" Victoria pulled out her phone, showing news articles. "Read it yourself. Marcus Webb, negligent owner, 2 dead workers. He settled out of court, paid money to make it go away." Sky's world tilted. "He said it was a gas leak, an accident." "It was an accident he caused, and you know what's funny? He's using you to rebuild his image. The deaf billionaire saves a foster kid. Great PR. Once he's done, he'll throw you away like he threw away my brother." Sky's hands shook. "No, he loves us." "Love?" Victoria laughed. "Billionaires don't love, they use. Ask him about the safety reports he ignored. Ask him about the whistleblower he fired. Ask him who really caused that explosion." She leaned close. "Or don't, and spend the rest of your life wondering if the man who saved you is actually the monster who started it all." Victoria left. Sky stood alone in the training facility, her perfect world cracking. When Marcus picked her up that evening, she wouldn't look at him. "What's wrong?" he signed. "Nothing." "Sky, please, tell me." She finally met his eyes. "Did you cause the explosion? Did you kill people?" Marcus's face went pale. Marcus pulled over the car. They sat in silence for a long moment. Then he started signing, slowly, painfully. "Victoria found you." Sky nodded. "She told you I killed her brother." Another nod. Marcus's hands dropped to his lap. Then he started again. "The explosion happened because I cut costs. I knew the gas lines were old. I knew they needed replacement. But I wanted higher profits, so I delayed. And 2 men died." Sky's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't pull the trigger, but I loaded the gun. That's what the investigators said. I paid settlements. I changed every safety protocol in my company, but I can't bring those men back." Marcus wiped his eyes. "Victoria's right. I'm responsible, and I've been living with that guilt for 3 years. The deafness isn't my punishment. It's my reminder. Every silent moment I think about the families I destroyed." He looked at Sky. "When I met you, I saw a chance to do something good, to take my guilt and turn it into purpose. But Victoria's right about that too. I was using you to feel better, to rebuild my image, to pretend I could be good again." Sky signed back. "So you don't really love us?" "No," Marcus signed frantically. "I do love you, but the beginning was selfish. I won't lie about that." Sky was quiet for a long time. Then she signed, "Did you ever tell Mama Diana?" "No, I was too ashamed." "You should tell her. Secrets hurt." "I know, I will." Sky stared out the window. "Mr. Marcus?" "Yes. Everybody makes mistakes, even big ones, but lying about them makes it worse." "You're right." "Are you going to tell the truth, all of it?" Marcus took a shaky breath. "Yes, even if it means losing everything." Sky reached over and took his hand. You won't lose us, but you have to be brave. The next day, Marcus held another press conference. This time, no PR team, no lawyer, just truth. 3 years ago, he signed, I caused an explosion that killed 2 men, not directly, but through negligence, through greed, through caring more about profit than people, the crowd murmured. I paid settlements, I changed policies. But I never said I was sorry, publicly, until now. He looked directly at the camera. To Victoria Chen, I'm sorry, I can't bring your brother back, but I can honor his memory. Today, I'm announcing the Chen Safety Foundation. $50 million dedicated to workplace safety training, free for any company that wants it. Victoria was watching from somewhere. Marcus hoped she heard. To Deanna and Sky, I'm sorry I wasn't honest from the beginning. My reasons for helping you started selfish, but my love became real, and if you'll still have me, I want to spend the rest of my life proving that. He paused. I'm not a hero. I'm a man who made terrible mistakes and got a second chance I didn't deserve. Sky taught me that second chances are gifts, and I won't waste mine. Marcus left the podium. Reporters shouted questions. He ignored them. Outside, Deanna and Sky were waiting. I heard everything, Deanna said quietly. I understand if you… Deanna put her finger to his lips. Stop, you told the truth. That's all I needed, Sky signed. Are you still going to marry Mama Deanna? Marcus knelt down. If she'll still have me. And adopt me. If you'll let me. Sky threw her arms around his neck. Then we're still a family. 6 months later, the wedding was small, just close friends, in the parking garage where it all began. Sky was the flower girl. She threw rose petals with perfect accuracy, making everyone laugh. When Marcus and Deanna exchanged vows, they did it in sign language. No interpreter needed. I promise to love you, Marcus signed. Not because you saved me, but because you saw me. Deanna signed back. I promise to love you, not despite your past. But including all of it. Sky stood between them, holding both their hands. The Chen Safety Foundation trained over 10,000 workers in its first year. Sky qualified for the Junior Olympic team at age 9. Victoria eventually accepted Marcus's apology. They'd never be friends, but she stopped seeking revenge. And every Thursday at 6 p.m., Marcus, Deanna, and Sky still returned to that parking garage, to practice, to laugh, to remember where it all began, where 5 men attacked a billionaire, where a little girl with a jar of coins taught him that the smallest voices can change everything. Marcus never heard Sky's laughter, but he saw it every day in her eyes, and that was enough. If this story touched your heart, don't just walk away. Subscribe right now because we bring you stories like this every week, stories that prove love, courage, and second chances are real. Comment below, what was your favorite moment? Was it Sky's testimony, the proposal, the truth reveal? And if you believe in redemption, drop a heart in the comments. Thank you for being part of this family. Until the next story, choose love, choose courage, choose family.